Here we go. We're in autumn now. Let's go. So already took the painting she needed by that point. That was someone different. Okay, fine. It was someone different. Then I know nothing, I understood nothing, and I'll just sit back and see whatever else they do with that. To hell with autumn. Okay.
そこに立っている1年の間につくづく思いました。何よりもなくしちゃいけなかったのは心を司る心臓だったってね。恋をしている間、僕は世界一幸せでした。けれど心がなければ恋をすることはできません。
Aww. Her hair's not tied in a ponytail. Oh, it's so long. It's so cute. And the bubbles and everything.
オズの魔法使いでブリキの木こりがドロシーへと語りかけた言葉。恋をしている間が世界一幸せだったと。きっとブリキの木こりも恋が叶わないことを知っていたのだろう。私も叶わぬことを知っている。だが私たちの思い出の曲、虹の魔法を歌い上げる彼女を、その声を、彼女の白く金色に浮かび上がる姿を見て、強くほとばしる感情が湧き立ち、伝えずにはいられない。ネレイデスのあなたへ、私がどんなにあなたを愛しているのかを、ずっと幼い頃から変わらぬ思いを。
Chidori is already in tears and holding her head. This is not good.
後ろめたい。
I was actually quite excited about this because I like all of the characters that this is gonna put the spotlight on, but now I don't know how to feel about it anymore. I did it last time, remember that we watched the summer OP? So it should be fine, I hope. I haven't done anything new to this one. Was it supposed to play now? And it didn't. Okay. Oh no, I guess it should play before the chapter intro thingy, right? That hasn't happened yet. Okay. Alright. So, I feel guilty. Listening to my classmates enjoy the Halloween party, I wonder when the last time I felt this way was. I used to feel it often. I felt guilty whenever I was compared to her. It was an emotion that bubbled up again and again as we were compared in terms of height, looks, academic ability. I'd come to feel it whenever I lied to myself, but without my realizing it, the emotion had been worn away. So, I felt guilty. And it's been a long time since I've felt like that. The cacophony of the party drifts to my ears from far away. I will surely feel things, okay. I'm probably just imagining it, but I think I can pick out her voice from amongst all the others. I smile to myself, thinking how it's usually the other way around. The girl my sister wants to. Eh? When I reflect that I'm going over to her in a moment, it feels like a hand is reaching into my chest to squeeze at my heart. In an attempt to quell the heat burning at my core, I wander over to the huge aquarium sitting in the corner of the lobby. Oh, cute fishies! Oh, so many, so colorful, so detailed, so perfectly realistic as well. What the heck? That's super cute. I stare at my hazy figure reflected in the glass. I'm wearing the same dress she is. I squint, checking to see that there's nothing off about my aqua-colored garb. Aqua-colored? Oh, that should be cute. But the brightly lit aquarium offers me no more than a faint silhouette, which isn't much help. No. Where my own face, wreathed in shadow, should be, my sister's face looks back at me. Telling myself that it's just the usual illusion, I take a step back, erasing my figure from the glass. I let out a long breath to regain my composure. Then I leave the lobby and its muffled noise behind. As I make my way through the forest to our meeting place, I start to grow sentimental. When was the first time I experienced guilt? Since we're twins, it stands to reason that people should compare us, so I've never felt it in relation to that. However, I've always been better than her, and when I saw how being compared to me hurt her, I thought it would be better if there were no comparisons to be made. So I lowered my own academic achievements and accomplishments to her level. At first I thought it was for the best. That doesn't sound like a good idea at all. But before I knew it, I'd started to feel guilty about matching her in everything. I'd done it to spare her feelings, but it felt like I was looking down on her. And what really left me tormented by guilt was... Roused from my reverie, I abruptly look up and find that I've already left the forest path, cut through the row of cherry trees, and arrived at the school building. Looming there in the dark, the building looks like a squatting giant. I put a hand to my forehead, chiding myself for becoming maudlin? Wow, these words, okay. The coolness of my palm calms me, but at the same time I become aware again of the ache in my chest. I muttered to myself and set off through the grounds at a brisk trot. I soon arrive at the chapel. The ache in my chest intensifies, sending waves of heat through my body. When I think of what I'm about to do, my legs start to shake uncontrollably. I've never felt like this before. My nervousness grows with every step I take towards the chapel doors, but I can't stop my feet from advancing. Cast in a dim glow, the interior of the chapel has an otherworldly feel to it. My downturned eyes nervously follow the red carpet to the end of the aisle, whereupon I raise my head to take in the altar, which is illuminated by the geometric panes of the stained glass window above. My stomach does a flip. The person I'm here to meet is already standing at the altar. Is this a betrayal? Even as I fret over the thought, I walk across to her. Aww, cute! I thought you'd already be here. Her cool voice pins me to the spot. My stomach does another flip and my chest feels tight. The person she loves. Interesting how we don't see them all. Why don't we see them all? As I face her staring in silence, her smile fades and is replaced by a look of confusion. Is it Yuzuriha? She's beautiful, like one of the angels from the Bible. But I didn't fall for her simply because of her beauty, her purity. She says my name and I take another step closer. She asks me why I called her here. Makeup, okay, makeup. I mean, it's Ringo clearly by the voice, so... I try to tell her how I feel, but the words get caught in my throat. Right. I have to fall in love with her myself so that there are no comparisons to be made between us. Okay, that sounds... Say what, girl? So that we're the same. Sasaki-kun. She calls my name and I smile. Because she sees me as me. To be differentiated like that. Somehow all my guilt drains away as I press my hand to my thundering heart. I confess to her with trembling lips.
私はあなたが好きです。
Okay. Oh! Cute! I loved them when they were tiny. That was like, such out of left field. I didn't expect that. So cute. Ichigo was playing Ringo's role perfectly during the spring thaw. I hope I'm gonna die with that. Okay. Ah, the Wizard of Oz.
物語は孤児であったドロシーが農夫のヘンリー夫妻と暮らし始めたところから始まる。カンザスの広大な平原、照りつける太陽に大地も家も作物さえも灰色に染まり、ドロシーが色をなくさずにいたのはトトという黒い子犬がいたおかげだと紡がれた。しかしオズの魔法使いの始まりは竜巻によって崩壊し始まる。家ごと竜巻に飲まれ羽のように運ばれていくドロシー。しかし彼女は恐れない。時間が経てば経つほどゆりかごのようだと落ち着いていく。竜巻に遭い最悪に見舞われるはずの未来をあるがままを受け止める彼女に、幼い私はひどく安堵したことを覚えている。変化を恐れないおとぎ話の主人公。これから始まるお話は変化を恐れない少女と停滞を望む少女のお話。
Okay. I gaze at the white box. Fall is well and truly here, huh? Alright, let's see, what were you saying? You crying yet? Poor Chidori. Chidori is reliving something. She's having an experience. Please hang in there with us. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think, yeah, that's it. I didn't miss anything else. Okay, so the package is addressed to one Yuzuri Hayatsushiro, me. It brings home the fact that we've now entered October. This white box arrives with every turn of the season, without fail. In spring, it contains our spring uniforms. In summer, our summer ones. And now, as summer turns to autumn, it's here with our autumn clothes. Wait, she's a senior, though. So, do they still change uniforms every year? Every season, every year, new uniforms? Interesting. I stare at the 6 white boxes sitting in a row. While the number of boxes changes, their clinical white appearance never does. The sterile boxes remind me of a secure hospital, easy to enter but not to leave. When I ask myself why I'd think that, the answer comes naturally. What do these boxes have in common with the academy? The school is surrounded by high walls for our own protection. But the truth is, I sigh to myself realizing that I'm overthinking it, and reach out to open the middle box. The inside is a fresh, clean uniform, impeccably folded. The smell of newness drifts up from the crisp white shirt on top. I go through the rest of the box. Everything is there. Bolero, black skirt, stockings, and shoes. It's the same outfit we wore last year. Autumn is my favorite. Spring is our basic look. The summer uniform is too form-fitting. And the winter one just really isn't my style. The summer is form-fitting? It's like it didn't have anything to tie around the waist or anything. I would say the spring one was more form-fitting than the summer one. The summer one is just like open and breezy. That's what it looked like to me. But okay. I like the autumn uniform, with its blend of femininity and androgyny. After checking to make sure all the uniforms are present and accounted for, I take off my nightwear. I stare at myself in the mirror, clad only in my underwear. The person looking back at me seems like a stranger. Whenever my body is exposed like this, I don't feel like myself. My figure is bathed in the dazzling morning sunlight, so bright I have to squint. My skin is a translucent milky white, and the curve of my hips and breasts emphasizes my womanhood. Yes, because we all think stuff like that about ourselves when we look in the mirror. What? This is a little bit weird. As I gaze at my breasts, which have grown over the past year, my best friend comes to mind, along with another acquaintance. Yuzu is the academy's prince, so that's her dissociating from herself, I guess. According to my younger friend in the cooking club, of all the first years, she's number 1. I remember her saying it with a vexed look on her face. Number 1 in terms of womanly assets? Is that what we're talking about? Oh god. I remember her saying it with a vexed look on her face. That in turn reminds me of that full-bosomed girl. Of what that full-bosomed girl once said to her amitié partner. Dark words remain, but pretty ones disappear in an instant, so make sure to remember it. I just happened to overhear those words said to her amitié partner as she handed her a note, but they've stuck with me. I whisper to myself as I take out the predominantly white uniform. Holding the shirt up to my torso, I look at myself in the mirror again. I find myself fantasizing about what she'd think if she saw me, and what she'd say. My always altruistic best friend, who would definitely tell me I looked good. Although she'd say the same even if I didn't. It's impossible for her not to look good, like what are we even talking about? She's kind to me. Actually, she'd do the same for anyone. I crack a smile at my reflection. I seem to be in a pessimistic mood this morning. I'm usually the eternal optimist, but not right now. I smile scornfully. I guess autumn tends to get people down. Trying to feel more like myself, I forced the scornful smile I'm wearing into my usual sardonic one. Feeling better, I thread my arms through the cool fabric of the shirt's sleeves. Oh, that's so cute! That's so elegant as well. Wow, very cute. It fits her. Sorry, better said, it suits her. It suits her, yeah. 10 out of 10 uniform. It's perfect. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. I wish I had that uniform in high school. That reaction in Ete when she wanted to try out the recital dress. It stings now, huh? I see. I see. The academy doesn't offer uniforms in regular sizes like small, medium, and large. They take our measurements and everything is tailor-made. Ah, I see. So probably that's why they have to change it every season, every year. Because I guess they might grow or something. I had the same uniform since 9th grade to 12th grade. It still fit me. I didn't change anything about it. Our own personal uniforms fitted to our bodies like a glove. As I put on my uniform, it feels like I'm putting on myself. Putting on the outfit of the president of the Council of Nicaea at St. Angrecum Academy. There are 2 pairs of shoes, too. These are also tailor-made. Oh my gosh, tailor-made shoes? What? The brand new shoes are overly shiny and a little tight to start with, but... I double-check to make sure there's nothing missing. 2 cardigans, 2 mufflers, 2 pairs of gloves. My current attire is fine for inside, but with autumn comes the occasional chill. It's up to us to decide when to wear these extras. After checking over the 6 empty boxes to make sure I haven't missed anything, I stow them in the closet and give myself a once over to make sure I'm wearing everything properly and that there are no wrinkles. I let out a sigh. Gazing once more into the steely blue eyes of my reflection and confirming that I'm still my usual self, I stride out of the room to get breakfast. What do you mean don't wear in shoes? That's bad. She means that as she's wearing the shoes, they'll adapt to her foot and like expand or something. I'd be very sad if the twins hurt Yuzu with their creepy twin drama. I hope, yeah, I hope that's not the case. After breakfast, okay, we skipped the food, thank God, and morning prayer, I head to the school. I gaze up at the building as I respond to the myriad greetings I receive on the way. It looks a little dreary in the mid-autumn light. This observation sends me back into my memories. I'd had the same thought when I first arrived here at St. Angrecum Academy. I wonder why I felt that way. I'd wanted to come to this school of my own accord, following in the footsteps of my best friend. I wonder... It seems to me now that during my first year here, I'd simply been swept along like a leaf in the wind. When my best friend had announced that she was aiming to become a member of the Council of Nicaea, a sort of student council type organization, I'd gone along with her, because being separated from her simply wasn't an option. The bunions will haunt you. Oh gosh. And yet, although my friend wanted it and worked hard for it, for some reason I was chosen as president over her. Wow. Interesting. That's crazy. Kind to the core, she wasn't the jealous type, and we'd breathed life into the council together. However... My tutor, Suo Shirahane, and her amitié partner Rika Hanabishi, and my fellow cooking club members Ichigo and Ringo Sasaki. Erika Yaegaki, with whom I've more recently become acquainted, and her amitié partner Chidori Takasaki are also amusing. And then... There's her. Again. Everyone is haunted by Mayuri, it seems. Mayuri Kosaka had left the academy at the tail end of spring. She had disappeared just as spring turned into summer. The sense of loss I felt is probably because of her, and in pursuit of her absent Amitia partner, she'd set about solving the mysteries of the academy. Someone calls out to me and I automatically return the greeting. I realize that I've arrived at the entrance. The younger student blushes and humbly returns the compliment. I happily do a twirl for her, rousing a chorus of oohs and ahs from bystanders. I've drawn a crowd of onlookers at some point, and their reactions have me feeling a little disgruntled. Still, I smile and thank them with a reverence. The courtesy used at the end of a ballet performance, then head for my classroom. All morning, I've been feeling like this is a season of goodbyes, but...
She cuddled up by the window.
Ooh. She stands up from her seat and speaks in a soft, clear voice.
I was waiting my father to be returning patiently, but my father wasn't returning. You broke your appointment. There was no anger in the case that you broke your appointment. The thought that a chest seems filled up with the free sadness was received. Fall on her sentiment. Large rain has begun to strike a window.
Okay. I felt bad talking over her. But look how cute! Oh, I love this uniform. It's perfect. It's so cute. Okay, looking on at my best friend, Nerine Komikado, in her neat white uniform, I reflect on the fact that some things never change. She's so cute. An absence of change is often interpreted as a negative, but that's not the case here. The fact that my virtuous best friend always stays the same is one of life's miracles. Her blonde hair tumbles down the white expanse of her uniform like a waterfall. Her celadon eyes remain studiously trained on her English textbook. Her personality hasn't changed at all since the first day I met her. As far as I'm concerned, Nerine Komikado is the one thing in the world that ought never change. Aww. Yuzu's POV is kinda disenchanting. She's a lot more bitter than you would think. Okay. I guess we'll see. Is bitter like lemons are sour, not bitter. I love lemons. Got a slice in my water, as per usual. I don't think that's necessarily... I mean, we'll have to see exactly what it is, right? But I don't necessarily perceive that just as a concept, as an idea, as that bad of a thing. Because it's clear that she puts on a certain outside demeanor. Like, she very purposefully acts the way she does, but that's a bit of like, it's acting as some sort of a mask to hide what is actually in her heart, with all the jokes and like her personality and everything. So actually taking a step away from that and seeing a little bit into her soul, regardless of how joyful or not joyful that is, that seems interesting in and of itself to me. So I'm curious, let's see. It's only proper that she stays the same. I think about her and about my tutor as Nerine goes back to her seat, having read out the designated lines. After class is over, my classmates crowd around my desk like usual to ask me about the things from the previous lesson that they didn't understand.
Yuzuriha-san, ここの問題なんだけれど。
Or so I thought when I first played. She's pretty negative about a lot of stuff even this early. I see. Yuzu is basically a type of lemon, sliced yuzu. Okay.
ああ、この英文はね、
I explain it to them just as we'd been taught. We've been through it all before in class, so of course I know the answers. However, you're so smart, Yuzuriha-san. Someone compliments me. It's nice to receive praise, but I am faced with a fresh round of questions. Although it's nice to be relied upon. I look over at Nerine, who's sitting by herself reviewing the textbook for the next class. Quite the opposite to me, there's no one at all around her. That's interesting, I would have expected her to be incredibly popular as well. Although there are a few people watching her from a distance. What was that? One of my classmates asks me what I said and I offer an evasive answer. Of course, it's not like she's being ignored. Nerine is the vice president of the Council of Nicaea and president of the choir club. She's far from a nobody and well respected by her peers. However, in Cookie Club, I've noticed that, as with Nerine, people watch her from a distance and rarely approach her. Neri and Suokun are both gorgeous, but it's a beauty that doesn't just end there. There's a vulnerability to it, a sense of longing. Aww. Oh, that's cute. That's more like a trick of language, to be honest, since the plant Yuzuri has nothing to do with Yuzu. Okay, I see. I see. Okay. Which is why no matter how much admiration they may garner, they're never surrounded by friends. I have to be more like them. I go over to her. I urge the girl with the questions over to Neri, who welcomes her with a bright, friendly smile. Thanks. It's lunchtime. We've ordered sandwiches for lunch and come out to the gazebo to enjoy the autumn weather. Nerine whispers her gratitude as she pours our coffee. I don't ask her what I've done to deserve her thanks. She's referring to me bridging the gap with our classmate. I shrug, as though I don't know what she's talking about. Neri doesn't say any more on the matter either. She adds 2 teaspoons of sugar and a dash of milk to the coffee. I prefer coffee to tea. At least that's the impression people have of me. So do you prefer coffee to tea, or is this an impression of people? That I don't understand. But the truth is, I'm not a fan of bitter flavors in general, and that includes coffee. Okay, I see. The reason why I like coffee, or why I say I like it, is because Neri likes it. Okay, clarification moment, thank you. Oh gosh.
さあどうぞ。猫舌じゃないんだけどね。冷まさないでいつも一気に飲むのですもの。やけどしないか心配なの。
Aww. Caring Nerine. Super cute. Feeling a little bashful at her concern, I take a sip of my drink. An astringent note still lingers behind the sweetness, tickling my taste buds. After savoring the coffee for a moment, I reach for a sandwich. But... Neri's already one step ahead of me, helpfully handing me the sandwich. That alone isn't out of the ordinary. However... Oh. Can we bask in the glory of it for a moment? Aww. Cute.
ずいぶん今日は積極的じゃないか。 そういつも通りじゃない
I suppose she's right. It's true that when we're alone together, she tends to treat me like a younger sister, always doting on me.
ほら、早く口を開けて。積極的なのは嬉しいけどね。
I do as urged and sink my teeth into the sandwich. It's filled with bacon, lettuce, and tomato with a mayonnaise dressing. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. In other words, a perfect BLT.
おいしい？ああ、最高だよ。ベーコンは好きな具合にカリカリに調理されているし、レタスやトマトもシャッキリとして実にうまい。それに、ネリーに食べさせてもらったんだ。まずいわけがない。
I was sure she was gonna say something about that. Nettie laughs to sound like the tinkling of a bell. I pick up a sandwich and return the favor, but I'm too late.
確かに美味しいわ。
I smile as she delicately starts to eat the sandwich she has in her hands. I take a big bite out of the one I've just picked up.
神は言った。ベーコンがあれば何でも美味しい。
Let there be bacon. God. Oh god. I make a joke to cover up my awkwardness. See, she does that a lot, I'm pretty sure. So that's interesting to have a bit of an inside view of what's happening in her mind when she makes those jokes.
相変わらずなんだから、もう。
Nettie puffs her cheeks out cutely and looks down at the sandwich I've just taken a bite from.
ゆずりはのサンドイッチって BLT サンドじゃないの？ああ、一種類だと飽きるかなと思って卵サンドも作ってもらったんだ。卵サンドも美味しいわよね。一口いただけるかしら。
I hesitate looking at the bite I've taken out of it, and I'm about to pick up a new one when... She's smiling brightly, but I feel a little ashamed at the thought that she noticed my disappointment. I bring the sandwich in my hands to her mouth, acting like it's no big deal.
ありがとう、ゆずりは。
It feels like I'm feeding corn to a baby chick. Say what? With our faces this close together, I can smell the scent of her favorite perfume. As I watch the beguiling way her pretty pink lips move as she eats, I feel something stir in my chest.
この卵サンド、ハム入りなのね。美味しいわ。
Now that we're done feeding each other, she goes back to nibbling her way through the rest of the BLT sandwich in her hands.
やれやれ。そんな年でもないだろう。
Feeding her my own half-eaten sandwich had left me a little flustered, and this too has me feeling kind of hot and bothered. A strange hot flush washes over me when I look at the bite she's left in my own sandwich. Doing my best to ignore Neri's presence beside me, I put my lips to the impression she left for a fleeting moment before taking a bite of my own. Let's just say that I barely taste the egg, ham, and lettuce.
苦いコーヒーでも飲むか。
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. It's, sorry, I've already drained my cup, so I refill it. Hot steam drifts from the coffee pot, bringing with it a fragrant scent. I love the smell. The strange heat in me dissipates, and I feel like myself again. As I sip the bitter coffee, I take another sandwich from the basket, this time a BLT. We both remain quiet for a while, focused solely on eating. Usually I'm not good with any stretch of silence, but it's different when it's with Nettie. It's a comfortable, soothing silence.
そういえば、今月末にあるハロウィン、そろそろ用意した方がいいわよね。ハロウィン？ああ、二階屋の会主催の。もうそんな時期か。先代の先輩方は10月に入ってからすぐに用意してなかったかしら。ハロウィンは学院主体ではないからね。先んじて許可を取った方がいいか。
There are two kinds of events here at the Academy. Annual events hosted by the school, like the Feast of the Assumption and the Harvest Feast Festival, and those hosted by the Council of Nicaea, such as orienteering, I don't know why I did that, so sorry, choir performances, and the Halloween party. Naturally, we're required to get permission from various authorities and prepare all the things we need by ourselves ahead of time.
私たちは衣装を用意すれば済むという話ではないし、まあ各部活動からの協力の取り付け、パーティーを開く場所を開放してもらうため許可を得なくてはならないしね。会場は前回と同じくダイニングルームでいいかしら。パーティーに花を添える料理などの用意の手前もあるからね。変わり映えしないが致し方ないだろう。今回も料理部の方たちにはお世話になってしまうわね。なに、料理部としては晴れ舞台だからね。面倒とは思っていないよ。飾り付けは手芸部。
I'm going over it all very seriously when I notice Nettie hiding a giggle behind her hands.
特に面白いことを言った覚えはないんだけどね。いえ違うの。1年生の時、料理部だったゆずりはがハロウィンに料理を振る舞ったでしょ。やめてくれ。全然そんな気はないのに、ケーキの飾りがハロウィン用だと間違われて。あの時のことは忘れてくれ。頼む。
My chocolate cake, which I'd been so proud of, had been praised for its hair-risingly dreadful decorations. Oh no, feels bad.
そのまま称賛を受けた。
Nettie was the only person who knew the truth. I'd simply been trying to bake a regular old chocolate cake.
ごめんなさい。つい思い出してしまって。
Cute.
いつまで笑っているんだか。だが、今回は笑えないような素晴らしい出来の料理を作ってみせると約束しよう。今度は白羽さんのご指導があるものね。
At the mention of Suokun's name.
どうしたの？いや。
I recall our exchange in the chapel last month.
そういえば最近、料理部の方、佐々木さんたちと仲がいいわよね。ああ、それは。
That's something I'm a bit perplexed about myself.
ゆずりはは相変わらず後輩に懐かれるわよね。特に仲が良い後輩とかはいるの？
There's no one closer than you. I'm spoiled for choice. Okay. Guess we're making the Nerine choices, right? There's no one closer than you. It's a question straight out of left field.
ネリー以外に特別は作らないよ。
I answer. She looks at me blankly for a moment before breaking into a smile.
嬉しいわ。でも私といる時ぐらいはいつものあなたでなくていいのよ。あ、そうだったね。ついいつもの癖が出た。でもありがとう、ゆずりは。
Nettie smiles at me. I ask her if she has her own favorite underclassman. She puts a finger to her chin and tilts her head.
仲良くなりたい子はいるわ。でもなかなかお会いする機会がなくて。ああ？今の言い方だと同じ合唱部員の花火師くんはお呼びじゃないということだね。あ、違うわ。花火師さんとは仲良くしていただいているけど、他のことももっと話したいと思っているだけよ。分かっているさ。これはさっきのケーキのお返しだよ。
She throws her hands up and I notice that we're all out of sandwiches.
そろそろ戻ろうか。食器を置いてこなくちゃならない。
Oh, this is so cute. Such a nice angle. I love it.
そうね。あ、でもコーヒーはもう一杯だけ。
How much coffee are you having? Jeez. Caffeine overdose. What? I gaze at her as she pours the steaming liquid from the pot.
同じ部屋ならいつでもネリーのためにコーヒーを入れてあげるのにな。
I think to myself. Wait. Once classes are over for the day, I head to cooking club a little earlier than usual. After checking that the room is empty, I take my watering can over to her to perform my daily duty.
ごきげんよう。今日も元気そうだね。
I address the flowers in the vase, asters in a sweet pale purple. Aw, that's nice. I put my hand to the vase and inhale the fragrance. As I gaze at the beautiful asters, I wonder what they signify in the language of flowers.
確か。
I search my brain as I top up the water. Always cheerful. That was it. A fitting flower for me. And it has a second meaning.
一目惚れ。
Oh.
ごきげんようです、八代先輩。
Hello. Someone suddenly addresses me from behind.
スオ君笑えないな。
I'm reminded of my tutor, who has a tendency to lose sight of her immediate surroundings when deep in thought.
ああ、ごきげんよう、リンゴ君。
I respond to the familiar voice and turn to face my underclassman and fellow cooking club member.
おお花のお世話ですか。いつの間にかお水を変えられていたのは先輩がしていたことなのですね。ああ、もともと僕が持ち込んだものだからね。そうだったのですか。新しいお花になっていたりしたのも。僕だ。
I look down self-consciously. This doesn't line up with people's image of me. I'd wanted to keep it on the down low, but...
桜木先輩とかが持ってきたと思っていましたが、意外でしたね。当然だな。でも、八代先輩なのは意外ですけど、納得です。先輩、お花好きですものね。え？だって、ガーデニングの選択授業でご一緒したとき、表情が柔らかかったですよ。
She looks at the apron I've brought with me.
花柄、お好きですよね。
It's not like I've deliberately been keeping it a secret, but actually my hobby is growing flowers. It's just one of my many hobbies. I guess, yeah, the first one. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit more decisive too. I figure I can be truthful with her.
実は花を育てるのが趣味なんだ。らしくないだろ？そんなことないですよ。八代先輩がお花を世話するのってすごく絵になります。
She's way too caught up in what her image is and trying to keep it. You can do that. You just have to be yourself and do the things you like. Not feel bad about what other people are imagining that you should like or should be doing. That's silly.
そうかな。はい。お花を世話している優しい顔。
Her candid words give me a warm, fuzzy feeling at the base of my stomach.
そう言ってもらえて嬉しいよ、リンゴくん。
I give her a sincere smile in return. Ringo takes a step closer to me and stares at the flowers in the vase. In the vase, sorry. Ugh.
このお花ってなんて名前なんですか？クジャクソウだよ。秋はカビではないが、つつましくも愛らしい花が多い。そういえば、コミカド先輩もお花の名前で秋の花ですよね。
I'm slightly shaken by the feeling that she's seen straight into my heart, but it was probably just a natural link in the conversation. She tilts her head and looks up at me with sleepy eyes.
ネリね。ダイヤモンドリリーだね。日の光を受けると花弁がキラキラと輝き美しい花だ。コミカド先輩らしい花ですね。
Her eyes narrow even further as she gently caresses the aster's petals.
リンゴくん、僕が花の世話をしていることは、はい、二人だけの秘密にしますね。
She smiles softly at me. Ringo sometimes seems to drift through life like a jellyfish. But in that moment, I wonder if perhaps she's quicker and more calculating than I'd judged her to be.
ま、だからどうしたというわけではないがね。
She's just being friendly. I thank her and am just putting the watering can back when... The image of Ringo the jellyfish is way too cute for this world, yeah. A boisterous voice, which I'd been expecting to hear before long, bounces around the room. Light footsteps accompany it, and then...
ごきげんようです、ゆずりは先輩。制服似合ってますね。
She gives me a thorough checking over, from my head to my toes, even from behind.
かっこいいですね、ゆずりは先輩。
She wraps her arms around my waist, clinging to me like a big dog jumping up excitedly at its owner. This is Ichigo Sasaki, my underclassman and fellow cooking club member, and Ringo Sasaki's slightly older twin sister.
以前と比べてスキンシップが多くなっている気がするな。
And as summer has turned into autumn, that's not the only way she's been acting closer with
ゆ
me.
ずりは先輩か。
The fact that she's started using my first name is probably her way of showing affection, and I appreciate that, but...
ゆずりは先輩、柔ら温かいです。君もあと1年ほどすればすぐに追いつくさ。それにいちごくんも似合っているじゃないか。以前の制服も良かったが、白い制服も可憐に見えるね。そうですか。実は私的にも似合っているなって思ってたんですよ。
She spreads her arms out and twirls on the spot, and I can't help but smile at how adorable she is.
当然、リンゴくんも可憐だよ。まるで真相のご令嬢のようだ。ダンスを申し込みたいところだよ。足を踏みつけてしまうかもですけど、嬉しいですよ。
She flashes a rare smile, and her sister immediately looks disgruntled.
リンゴの方が褒められてる気がする。不公平ですよ。おや、すまない。そんな気はなかったんだけどね。でもゆずりは先輩からセクシーになれるお墨付きをもらったし、今でも十分大人っぽいってことだよね。
Her sister looks unimpressed as she bats her eyes coquettishly.
今のでお分かりになったと思いますが、姉は少し目が悪いのですよ。なんでだよ、目すごくいいよ。両方とも 2.0 だよ。
As I pat the protesting Ichigo on the head, I commend the two of them on their consenting ability to amuse.
なんだか釈然としない褒められ方なんだけど。おお、八代先輩に頭を撫でてもらえるとかレアですね。頭を撫でられるのって子供っぽいから嫌だけど、ゆずりは先輩になら嫌じゃないかも。それは長女。さすが学院一の人気者です。女性との手なずけ方を知っていますね。ゆずりは先輩モテるもんね。あ、そうだ、ずっと聞きたいと思っていたんですけど、ゆずりは先輩はどんな女の人が好きなんですか？
Ooh, why are you asking me about women? Ichigo-kun is my type. Oh, okay. I guess we go for the joke. Okay. I'm slightly thrown by the sudden question, but...
そうだね。僕としてはいちごくんのような乙女が好きだよ。本当ですか？可愛らしいし、直接的に好意を示してくれるからね。僕はコヨーテよりロードランナーの方が好きなんだ。
Okay, that's an interesting comparison.
どういう意味なの？追うよりも追われる方が好きだって意味ですよ。
I wink at Ringo-kun, who got my reference to old school American cartoons.
素晴らしい。
I flash her my trademark cynical smile. With 1 ear still tuned into the twins' chatter, I flick a glance at the clock on the wall.
遅いな。時計を気にしているようですが、どうかしたですか？いや、他の部員が来ないなと思ったのさ。今日はもしかして休みなのかと思ったのだが。そうだ、私たちゆずりは先輩を呼んでくるよう頼まれたんですよ。おお、そうでした。 私としたことがついうっかり。
Of course. Is anyone surprised by this? Nobody.
うっかりというには、ずいぶんゆっくりと喋っていたじゃないか。
She says, I'm not sure it was as accidental as she's making it sound. Yeah, because I guess you can't really read it because my head is there. Sorry. But I won't say anything. She's promised to keep my secrets, so I'm indebted to her. Ichigo-kun takes me by the hand and tugs insistently. Keep my secret, okay.
今日は食材の調達に行くんです。みんな農場で待っているんですよ。急いで急いで。そうです。のんびりしている暇はないんですよ。
Yeah, because you've already wasted so much of it. That line is the perfect setup for a sarcastic comeback, but instead I just smile and pat them both on the head.
大丈夫だ。のんびりと行こう。主役は最後に来ると。みんなは分かっているだろうからね。
Ay. Well, look who we have here. I turned down the sound of the voice, then dropped my gaze downward to meet the eyes of its owner. It's Erika Yaegaki, whose acquaintance I've recently made.
図書室で見かけるなんて珍しいですね。白羽はいませんよ。知っているよ。今の今まで一緒にいた。今日は料理部に顔を出していたよ。
Like Suo, and Erika usually has her way of projecting subtly, I guess. Okay. So Shirahane had been standing slightly apart from the group of girls awaiting the arrival of their star. When she'd spotted me, her bronze-green eyes had met mine and latched on.
そうですか。からかいに来たが失敗だったかな。
I shrug as her lips curve into her usual feline smile.
あの制服で図書室の師匠をしていたら、マジで妖精かゴシックホラーな感じだったのにな。ああ、恐ろしいほど決まっていたよ。この制服は線の細い子ほど似合う気がする。
I know what you're talking about. Everyone looks pretty slim to me. Yaegaki grimaces her agreement, then casts her eyes over me appraisingly.
その理論からいくと、八代先輩はあまり似合わないことになりますね。僕が太っているということかい？スタイルがいいってことですよ。まあ、確かにバスキア教諭がこの制服姿だと、少しいかがわしい店を連想しますね。
I can't understand what kind of image this is supposed to paint in my head. What? Someone who's just come from some dodgy massage parlor? I have no idea how that's supposed to look.
相変わらず君は面白い発想をするね。でも、この制服に変わってほっとしましたよ。前より少しばかりスカート丈が長いでしょ。大事な部分が見えそうで困った？
Unperturbed by my frank observation, she puts her hand to her chin and pulls a face.
自分は別にどうでも構いませんけどね。ただ、目を合わせなければ、私の目線はだいたい相手の腰あたりになるんですよ。
She breaks her gaze away from mine and looks straight forward.
確かに、目のやり場に困るか。八代先輩は腰の位置が高いでしょ。今までのやつだと割とハラハラしてましたよ。
ハラハラYeah, I guess.
そうか。うかつにターンもできない。
Despite my words, I do a pirouette for her. The pleated skirt floats up into the air and Yaegaki blushes.
ようやく動じたね。先輩がやるとシャレにならない。噂を立てられたらまずいでしょうに。僕は構わないよ。君はお気に入りだ。私が構うんですよ。
I catch a mutter about Amitia partners, but then she coughs and, changing the subject, stares at the book in my hand, commenting on how unusual it is to see me reading.
料理の本だよ。ハロウィンに出す料理を研究中でね。 ハロウィン？ん？知らないのかい？最近は日本でも割とメジャーになりつつあると思ったんだけどね。お菓子をもらいに家々を。いや、ハロウィン自体は知ってますよ。じゃなくて、八代先輩がパーティーを開くのですか？
Seems like she doesn't know about the annual Halloween party. I have an urge to mess with her, but I've already had my fun, so taking pity, I tell her that it's a yearly tradition at the academy.
ああ、収穫祭のような。どちらか。
Oi! So sorry. Why do I keep doing that?
どちらかというと、オリエンテーリングにカテゴライズされるね。収穫祭は学院の主催。ハロウィンは二階屋の会が催すものだ。
Yaigaki-kun nods, understanding without me having to explain everything. She gestures to my recipe book, saying that it looks like the cooking club contributes too.
その通り。ハロウィンにふさわしいものはないか探していたところさ。そうだ。八重垣くんはパーティーで食べてみたい料理はないかね？
She smiles her cat-like smile and rubs her hands together.
食い道楽なんで、そういう質問をされると悩みますね。そうだな。一度映画で見たバターボールを食べてみたいですかね。
I just realized that when I now speak about Yuzu, it looks like I'm talking about not somebody else, but... Eh? Sorry, I don't know what that means. Am I reading it wrong? I can't figure it out.
バターボール？それは飴だろ？パーティーには向かないような。ああ、普通はそっちか。私の言うバターボールは揚げバターと言った方がいいですかね。バターに衣をつけて油で揚げたものなんですよ。
Wow, that's a lot in just one ball. What? The description alone is almost enough to induce a heart attack. Exactly, that's how I'm feeling here. Ah, you mean that because your username is so similar. Okay. I didn't think of that. I always connected it to the character, and I don't know if anyone would make the wrong connection. So I think you're good. Don't worry about it.
尋ねておいてなんだが、乙女的にカロリーの観点から言って難しそうだな。そうですか。それじゃあ、その前に八代先輩が好きな料理はないんですか？それにすればいい。
My favorite food. I don't really have one. Pancakes. Pancakes? Pancakes. Pancakes. I see. I get you now. I see. I see. Okay, I hadn't thought about it, but okay. Okay. So, Yagaki-kun questions me and I look back at her.
パンケーキかな？
I answer.
お、パンケーキですか。確かに飾り付けしやすそうだし、ハロウィンに合いそうだ。八重垣くんのお墨付きが出たね。また料理部で味見に呼んでくださいよ。
The usual feline curve of her mouth has transformed into a soft, girlish smile. I tell her I'd be glad to have her taste test my cooking. I use the lull in the conversation to glance at the clock on the way to see that it's almost time for me to go.
待ち合わせでも？ああ、これから2階への会で会議だよ。普段のハロウィンのことでね。部がある時でも休めないんですね。年中無休か。このご時世、定休日なんてあったらやっていけないからね。
My banter draws a cat-like smile from her.
そうだ。もう一つ質問しよう。ハロウィンでの出し物だが、どんなものがあったら面白いと思う？出し物。お化けの格好して料理を食べてお菓子をもらいに回るだけじゃないんですか？基本、寮のダイニングホールを借り切って行われるんだけどね。去年は 個人で占いの館をやっている者もいたな。
へえ、ならそうだな。
She's really giving this some thought. Guess she's actually more good-natured than she seems. Just then, as I'm distracted, I happen to notice the soft footsteps creeping up on us.
階段ね。
The new arrival declares this with delight as she takes hold of the handles of Yaegaki-kun's wheelchair.
高崎くんの意見は階段の披露か。確かにハロウィンパーティーには合いそうだ。
Of course. Look at her. Cute! Cute. Very cute. The girl who's just appeared is Chidori Takasaki, Yaegaki-kun's Amitie partner. She's a transfer student who wowed us all with a stunning performance at the ballet recital last month.
お久しぶりですね、八代先輩。
最近は忙しくてバレエ談義はできなかったね。
おい、人のことを脅かしておいて無視か？無視をしていたのはエリカでしょ？エントランスで待っているって言ったのに全然来やしないのだもの。迎えに来たのよ。そうか、悪い。先輩と盛り上がっちまってよ。
As I listened to their conversation, it strikes me how much they've both softened. I'm not a fan of change in general, but this change is pretty welcome.
それで八重垣くんの意見は？
そうですね、パーティーなら賑やかしは必要か。バンドみたいな？ガールズバンドか？今さら何十番煎じだよ。乗り遅れるにも程があるぞ。天国への階段を歌うエリカが見られると思ったのだけど。
Oh, I would love to hear that. Thanks to Takasaki-kun, I now know that Yaegaki-kun is a Led Zeppelin fan, and what her favorite song is too.
僕は移民の歌が好きだ。ブロディを思い出す。
Yaegaki-kun cracks up at that. Once she's calmed down, she asks me if I'd consider doing a performance or something myself.
そうだな。僕は
Might give Takasaki-kun's idea a try. Kinda like the band idea. I think we would be going for the ghost stories though. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So, might give Takasaki-kun's idea a try.
怪談話というのはいいかもね。時期外れなことを除けば。
八代先輩、怪談が夏だけのものというのは浅はかですよ。怪談は夏よりも秋冬の方が多いのです。
I didn't realize Chidori was so much into ghost stories. Interesting. She gleefully launches into a spiel. I guess Takasaki-kun's really into her spooky stories.
寒い時期の怪談は夏とは別種の趣があって。
ネリーといい、リンゴくんといい、女の子はホラー話が好きなのだな。
その言い方だと私たちが女じゃないって言ってるみたいですよ。それでここからが興味深いんですよ。
Okay, she's really into her world now. I inadvertently lean back as Takasaki-kun bends forward, suddenly all fired up.
勘弁してくれ。
We're arranged in a line with Yaegaki-kun at one end, meaning that as Takasaki-kun bends forward, she has a front row view of her butt.
私のおすすめは雪山のお話で、雪山登山をした大学生2人の話なの。頂を踏破することはできたのだけど、下山する途中に1人が足を捻挫してしまって、その日のうちに山を降りることができなくなってしまったの。日が暮れそうな時、ようやく山小屋を見つけて。
目のやり場に困ると言っていたものな。
It says she did say she had trouble knowing where to look, in case you can't read that because of the overlay. Yeah, poor her. But also maybe she's enjoying it. I don't know. I flash a cynical smile at Yaegaki-kun, who's currently getting an eyeful of her Amitie partner's scintillating thighs as her skirt wafts up and down.
いやだからな。それはエリカの考え方が古いのよ。
Watching the two of them talk with such carefree intimacy stirs an emotion deep inside of me. You can tell that they trust one
いつ
another.
か私もあんな風に。
八代先輩？
先輩、話聞いていましたか？
ああ、八重垣くんと高崎くんの意見、とても参考になったよ。
I gloss over the fact that I haven't heard a word of what they've been saying.
それは良かったです。
I see the two of them share a private look.
そろそろ向かわないとまずいな。
I declare with a purposeful look at the clock. Takasaki-kun shoots me a questioning look.
二階屋の会の会合だよ。年中無休だ。店長は大変ですね。
定休日が欲しいが、そうもいかない。
I smile and shrug. I thank them both for their time and with a wave of my hand take my leave from the library. Yes, Erika, I was totally listening and not thinking... I was totally listening and not thinking about how sweet you look together and how I want to have the same, okay? Aww. Oh, feels bad. At the council meeting, the discussion of what to do at the Halloween party was a mess, with all kinds of ideas thrown into the ring, but in the end... It seems that even the pure virtuous maidens of the Council of Nicaea hold a dark candle in their heart for horror. I'd mentioned it as a joke, but most of the members took it seriously, chattering excitedly about how fun it sounded. Although it had just been the regular council members, the idea probably would have just faded away after its brief moment in the spotlight. However... I was about to say, probably she was very excited about it. The vice president had clapped her hands together, her face radiant, and so it had been decided.
まあ、ネリーの喜ぶ顔を見られるのは結構なことだが。感謝しているわ、ゆずりは。
I blush at the girly shriek her surprise attack elicited from me. The feel of her pressing against me as she hugs me from behind, and the scent of her perfume.
やめてくれないか、ネリー。心臓が口から飛び出すかと思ったよ。
Ah, cute.
ゆずりはを驚かせられたわ。
She says joyfully, her arms still around me. I smile wryly to myself. It's been one surprise glumping after another for me today.
まったく。ハンガーゲームじゃないんだぞ。何？映画だよ。不意打ちばかりされているなってことさ。それより肌着じゃないか。まさか僕が来るまでじっと潜んで待っていたのかい？違うわ。ゆずりはったら服を脱ぎながら考え事をしていたじゃないの。それに肌着なのは一緒でしょ。そうか。
It looks like I must have finished undressing while my mind was elsewhere, realizing that I too am down to my underwear. What with the lack of any clothes between us, I'm now keenly aware of her body on mine. Her voluptuous chest pressing against my back, the long waves of gorgeous golden hair tickling my skin. Her warmth, which is stoking a smoldering heat at my core. I turn around haltingly, only to be faced with the valley of her cleavage. My pulse quickens. My heart is pounding so hard, she'll surely notice my agitation.
大きくなったわね。ああ、ネリーも大きくなったよ。本当？
I don't clarify that I'm talking about her boobs.
そろそろいいだろ？
残
念。
She finally pulls away and clasps her hands behind her back, smiling impishly. That smile sends a little flutter through my chest.
いたずらばかりしていると、二階屋の会のメンバーに示しがつかないぞ。二人だけの時しかしないわ。ゆずりはは
甘えさせてくれるから好きよ。
親バカな父親になった気分だよ。
I hide my discomposure behind a snide retort. Forcing myself to act calm, I move to take off my underwear, telling her that we should get into the hot baths quickly before we catch a chill. It's late, and we have the spacious baths all to ourselves.
やっぱりおっぱいは大きくないとな。
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Can we move on? I think to myself. I rest my arms on her thighs and look up at her.
何を悪巧みしているの？
She says.
そんなこと考えていないさ。ただ素敵な光景だなってね。
素敵？目が何か企んでいる感じだったわよ。
Yeah, because she was looking at your boobs. A childhood friend is truly the most terrifying of foes. I look down at my own chest, then back up at Nettie's.
八重垣くんも魅力的だが、これだけは唯一無二の弱点。
Why are we suddenly talking about Erika? What's happening? I murmur.
八重垣さんがどうしたの？
Going from us to her is like stepping out of the mountains and onto the prairie. I guess, yeah, we had settled that already. I shake that image from my mind and instead tell Nettie how I'd run into Yaegaki-kun at the library before coming to the meeting.
そうだったの。このところ行き合えてないから、またお話がしたいわ。
The houses. There's nothing wrong with little houses on the prairie, okay? We each have what we have, and it's fine the way it is as long as you're healthy and you're feeling good in your body, okay? That's all that matters, alright? Can we just not I guess it's a concern a lot of young girls have. It seems that it's especially highlighted in Japanese media. It's a constant theme in high school anime. But I think constantly thinking of that and comparing yourself to other girls and feeling bad because you're not like them, it's a really bad recipe for self-confidence and self-image issues later down the line. For no reason at all. Because we're all different and we are what we are, okay? So if you got them big, you got them big. If you got them small, you got them small. You have no control over it, right? It's Mother Nature. Just whatever. Okay, let's move on.
図書室ではハロウィンパーティーでの議題について意見を聞いたよ。
そうなの。ああ、だから階段の話が出たのね。
I wish that one day the world will be such that nobody cares about it. We had these talks in high school for no particular reason, not just of envy. It was pretty funny. Yeah, okay. I mean, I understand. It does make sense to have conversations about that when you're experiencing puberty and when you're growing and developing and so on. But I really, really think there should be a lot more emphasis put on the fact that we each have our own individual journey. Our bodies are different. They develop at different times, at different rates, and they won't look the same in the end. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just are what you are, okay? Just, learn to live harmoniously in your own body. Take care of it. Be healthy. That's all that matters. Okay. I wish, I dream of a world where that would be a thing, but yeah. If I ever have a daughter though, I would take care of having that kind of conversation with her often. Yeah. She claps her hands together as though it all makes sense now. She looks positively delighted to have found a kindred spirit.
階段は八重垣くんの意見ではなくてね、高崎くんの方なんだよ。彼女は怖い話に目がないらしい。
まあ、そうなの。お 話が合いそうだわ。
She beams happily, her breasts bouncing beneath her towel with each movement she makes. There's a certain defenselessness that comes with knowing one another so
八重
intimately.
垣さんも怖い話を嫌いではないと聞いているし、今度お二人を誘ってお風呂で語り合いたいわ。
Oh!
それはどうだろうか。
I explained that while I don't yet have a handle on Takasaki-kun's personality, Yaegaki-kun probably wouldn't be up for it. She can be surprisingly girly in some
そう
ways.
なの？もしかして恥ずかしがり屋さんなのかしら。
I mean, you can chat in other circumstances too, right? You don't have to hang out only in the baths.
それもあると思うがね。とある情報通から聞いた話だと、八重垣くんは胸が小さいのを気にしているらしい。僕やネリー、そして1年生の中では一番だろう高崎くんの3人に囲まれて湯船で語らうのは酷というものではないかと思うね。
そうなの。お胸が。
She hasn't been bothered by our state of undress up to now, but as soon as the word breasts is out in the open, she squirms awkwardly. It's just the way they talk here is a relatively authentic portrayal to me. Okay, I see. Still, she doesn't make any move to cover herself up in front of me. She's probably wondering if she's offended me with her frank
思い
language.
やりのある幼なじみと知り合えて僕は嬉しいよ。
何？
いや、やはり二階屋の会の会長はネリーがなるべきだったと改めて思ったのさ。なんで僕なんかが選ばれたのか。
I really truly think this. I'd said it in my usual joking fashion, but Neri has caught onto the genuine sentiment behind my words. She looks me in the eye. You don't choose your purpose. Your purpose chooses you. Oh, interesting. She
神の
declares.
御言葉かい？
The word of God.
お父様が以前そうおっしゃっていたの。でも私も言葉通りだと思うわ。でなければ学院のみんなが賛同してくれるわけないでしょ。
Getting voted into the various council positions or even the vice presidency isn't such a big deal. However, to be chosen as president, you first have to overcome all these trials. That's something I understand well, having gone through them
やっ
myself.
ぱりネリーの方が向いていると思うけどね。
度量が広いのは会長にとって必須よ。ハロウィンパーティーでの会談大会も許してくれたし。
あれだけなら考えものだが、他の催しの案も通った後だったからね。料理と同じだ。紛れてしまえばなんてことはない。
Of course, not saying that it's universal. Different girl groups will have different dynamics. So yeah, sure. I was just talking about the topic at hand because it comes up so much in the novel. We share a chuckle. She really is my best friend. Perhaps those words escaped my lips just now because Neri puts a finger to hers
でも
thoughtfully.
高崎さんと八重垣さん、お二人ともよく一緒にいるのを見かけるわ。
They aren't they?
初めは反発していたようだけどもね。
そうなの？
似た者同士だから反発するのさ。だがきっと何かつながりを深める出来事があったのだろうね。
何かって。
She's catching on. Her cheeks flush and she blinks innocently. Tracing a finger across her lips, she asks me.
ねえ、もしかして八重垣さんと高崎さん、お二人って交際しているのかしら？
それは
For a moment, I am stumped as to how I should answer that question from the position of president. But then I realized that she's asking me for my personal opinion. I nod.
面と向かって聞いちゃいないが、おそらくは。
そう。ねえ、ゆずりは、あなたは女性同士が付き合うということをどう捉えているの？
Yes, Yuzuriha, how do you feel?
それは
It's probably not very Christian. I'm kinda jealous. She's jealous. Oh yeah, that's the answer. Okay, great. Perfect. I decide to answer from my personal perspective rather than that of a school authority.
そうだな。率直に言って 羨ましくはある。
そうなの。
She doesn't noticeably draw back from me, but nor does she hide her
あ
suspicion.
あ、腹を割って話せる友人。いや、親友というのは大切だ。彼女たちの密な関係が僕には羨ましく思えたよ。
そういう意味合いなのね。
うん？もしかしてネリーは僕がもっと植物的なことを言うと思っていたのかい？
I leer at her chest and waggle my fingers. She squirms and crosses her arms in front of her to hide her bosom.
もう胸が大きいのはコンプレックスだって知っているでしょ。
八重垣くんが聞いたら猫の笑みを浮かべながら嫌味を言われそうな言いざまだね。
In the third novel, someone noticed it's not very Christian. I mean, they did talk about it in the first one too. Yeah.
そういう意味で言ったのではないわ。
This is surely just a case of the grass always being greener on the other side. Yep, absolutely. Still, Neri's brow is furrowed in an expression of genuine anguish. It's so adorable that I can't help but laugh.
意地悪だわ。
She glares at me, her cheeks flushed. I tell her I'm done with the lame jokes and beg for her forgiveness, which she, of course, grants. After giving my own opinion, I ask the same question of Neri. A troubled look clouds her face as she tilts her head in thought.
そうね。胸筋を開く相手が欲しいと言っていた私だもの。親密な相手は欲しいわ。
But her soft pink lips form the word, but I cut her off, not wanting to hear the rest of the sentence. Why are you cutting her off? Mm.
お付き合いを受け入れることはできない。だろ？
譲り派は私の心が読めるのね。
I see.
いや、相手の記憶が読めるんだよ。バルカン人みたいに。
Ah, okay. I'm a big fan, but she hasn't ever seen Star Trek, so all I get back is a faint smile. This is one of the few times that seeing her smile makes me a little sad.
幸せになる秘訣だ。一番大切なものを決して手放さないこと。
オスカー・ワイルド？
いや、父の言葉さ。僕もそう思う。
But my dad did let go of it, even if it was fate that took it
白
away.
羽さん。
The mention of loss must have reminded her of my tutor. Her expression suddenly turns sorrowful.
長湯してしまった。湯あたりしてしまいそうだ。
そうね。
肌が白いから余計に湯だって見える。タコみたいだぞ、ネリ。
肌が白いのはお互い様でしょ。
I'm relieved to see her expression brighten again. My best friend's words felt like a small, sharp needle being driven directly into my heart. I reflect with some detachment that I'm probably not going to be able to pull it out anytime soon. Aww. Sadness. Interesting how Nerine never really said that, right, Yuzuriha? Yeah, she kind of like... I feel like she put it already together, what Nerine's view of it is. And so she kind of interjected there because she didn't really want her to say it. That it would hurt probably a lot more if Nerine actually spelled it out. So she kind of, in a way, by doing it herself, she lowered the weight of the blow just a tiny little bit because it's kind of like I did it and I was expecting it already. But yeah, it still kind of hurts, I guess. Is Neri one of those token heterosexuals put there for diversity's sake? I don't know. We'll see. I'm making no assumptions at this moment. Not the token heterosexual. Alright. I think for tonight this is a good place to make a save. Yeah. And we will keep going next time. Alright. So far so good. I'm okay so far. I'm not seeing so much negativity in Yuzuriha. Although she is a little bit like she's already assuming defeat in terms of her relationship with Nettie. I guess it makes sense if they had a very, very long relationship, right? So she knows her from childhood, so she's aware of how she thinks and stuff. But in a way, the fact that she's kind of like already assimilated this as an insurmountable wall, it's a bit sad. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, alrighty. I think that let me see. Yeah, so probably should say this now. Let me look at the calendar. I know this is a little bit, I don't know, it doesn't fully fit well. It doesn't leave things like in a proper spot where like we're just starting the autumn volume. Thanks for being there, Bear. But I think for my own sake and for a bit of just calmness in my life for the next 2 weeks, I will take a break from streaming between the 2nd and the 15th of September. So we're streaming this week on Thursday for sure, that's okay. But next week and the week after anyway, I'm not going to be here, I'm going to be traveling, so I can't stream. But I take 1 extra week because I would like some extra time to try to finish the cosplay, or at least the biggest parts of it that are needed. Just so I can take it chill and not stress about it. Yeah. Sorry about that. I know I also recently took another 2-week break in July. But yeah, I think I need it for my own sake, so sorry. I hope it doesn't you know, we don't end up in a cliffhanger or something on Thursday, because that would feel bad. So basically we would be streaming this Thursday on the 29th of August. Oh good. And then we're back on the 17th of September. Okay? Yeah. So just a heads up. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. This has been really nice, and I'm quite intrigued by the autumn volume, so NJ is more important than this. Yeah, I will give her my entire focus and effort, and yeah, hopefully it's already getting there. Like, I already have some of the more complicated pieces, they're close to completion. I decided to start with those because I knew they would be like this. Like, the tiniest ones that have a lot of details are much more time consuming to make than the bigger stuff. So yeah, we'll see. But I think I should be able to make it. I will probably drop some of the details if I can't fit them in, but overall it should be fine. I think so. So with this week and next week, I should mostly finish stuff, and then I get a few days the week after before I leave to pack and just get ready and stuff. So I think it'll be great. All right. Thank you for this. It's always nice to spend this time with you. Sorry that I'm taking the break. I hope it's not too jarring that we just started and then we're stopping for a little bit. But after that, we will come back. We will be full steam ahead until let me think, until Christmas time, likely, with probably one stop here or there when I might go visit my parents once, but that would be the only thing. So then we will be going until the end of the year, and by the rhythm of this, maybe we can even finish it. I don't know. We'll see how long the next 2 are. Alright. For now, I will say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining me. You are wonderful. You're great. And it's the most fun time to end my day like this and chill with you in this novel, which is, although it kind of breaks my heart sometimes, and I don't really like it when it's sad for the characters because I'm so invested and I care so much about them. Overall, it's such a chill and cool and fun vibe. So I'm very happy and grateful for the experience of sharing this with you. So take care, night night, and see you Thursday.